It'll be a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in that brief second. Why is it popping off all of a sudden? Hey, what's up, you guys? It's me, Gatvol, and welcome back to another video of The Letter. Now, I remember last time we progressed with our main man, the man of the hour, Z-Man, the man of the hour. Now we're going to continue with him. I don't know what's going to happen next. We actually talked to the ghost. He actually talked to her. And she asked, will he help her? And he said, what do you want from us? Type of thing. So we're going to see what happens next. I'm really amped because it's really progressing. We're getting really close. And I'm so very excited. Okay, guys. So we're continuing off here. We're talking to whatever his name is, Zane or whatever. I don't know. Okay. I have no idea if it is the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
All right. Stay safe, Zach.
I will do so. Thank you so much. When he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the off-note crowd to swallow him whole, I like to think the tiny gleam in his eyes is the closest we can get to the optimism in this situation. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. October 30th, Sunday! Night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, and catches me off guard. With Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach, it's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off even for a little while. It is not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than just to pass time. Alrighty. Though if I am going to be honest, it is not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and the hope I'll hear from Ash or Isabella soon. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end of the table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from them since they left. They haven't promised a call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have the common sense at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the concern stretching out the minutes far longer than usual, it's impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3, my hand stills. It'll be a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in that brief second. Why is it popping off all of a sudden? My whole body gone motionless, ears straining for any further sounds. A couple of 10 seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations ain't anything new. Every now and then this would happen, leaving a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual, anything after a few years of living here. But this time the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant this place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin gathering together the rest of my things scattered about on the table. The camera's body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything my hand could reach, but in the resulting panic like in the nightmares, it is the scent that reaches me first, a foul, protrude smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. My fingers clamped tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body, as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whatever it is with me in the room. It won't, but it's the only comfort I have.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me, a soft scuttling over the walls, followed by the squench and painful creaking of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones Without hesitation, I whirl around my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
Leave now! There's nothing here for you!
There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while I think my pleas worked. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes, and along with it are the sobs of a woman. What in the hell? What am I doing? What am I doing here? Oh shit. Capture! Capture! Oh my god. I need to click faster. Oh my god. I captured her! Oh my god! The light flashes fleeting one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque, misshapen features before it is once again lost in the darkness. All of a sudden, her tune changes, no longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek, brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees from my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob, and I'm wrenching the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until an idea comes to mind or my pulse settles down, and yet dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what this is. There's no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw that letter, she's been after us.
I can't run. Not this time.
Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who has always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. Or Isabella, who frequently checks hers for any messages and readily responds as soon as she can afford. It doesn't help that Ash hasn't said a word where he went off to as well.
Damn it! I knew I should have asked him before I let him leave.
Knowing him, he can be anywhere. But there's really only one place he'll likely be at this time. Where? The mansion. I knew it! The sun has already peaked over the horizon when I make it to the mansion. I have no idea what I'm expecting to see when I get there. There's Ashton, first and foremost. A part of me wishes my assumptions are correct and he's really somewhere close by on a stakeout. But I've never been the lucky sort when it comes to that kind of a guessing. And even after I've made a round of the immediate vicinity, I could find neither hide nor hair of him. Calling him does no good either, considering how awful the signal here is. He can't be too far if he's really here. Instead, there is only silence, the kind too quiet to find any sort of comfort in. Even the trees seem to have fallen asleep with the rest of the mansion. No wonder the whole Ansem feels at odds with the rest of Luxbourne. While the city is alive, growing every minute, breathing every second, and pulsating with life, the village remains unmoving, unchanged. It's not surprising the legend still lives up to this day, and why she's still here, walking in its hollowed halls. And beyond me the mansion looms ominously, but now ain't the time for fear. Even if Ash is not here, I'm still got to let the Wrights know what I've seen, what's in their home. And whatever grievance Ash has with them, doesn't matter. There might be grounds for imprisonment, but they don't deserve a brutal death at the hands of one malicious spirit. And I'm sure Isabella would want the same thing. Alright. Come on, man! Please open the door! Before long, the door swings widely open with Mr. Luke Wright standing right behind it. Seething would be a complete understatement to describe him. Like this, I've got no doubt why Ash would find him a suspect.
Again. It's bloody 6 in the morning.
Listen here, okay? I got some news for you. There's a creepy-ass ghost on the loose, and he's about to kill you and your wife.
What the hell is it now?
Listen, sir, I know this is not a good time.
Oh, it's not a good time. Did you even check the clock before coming here? I bet you didn't. Unlike you, the ones living in this house need to sleep. Come back when people are actually awake, or I'll call security on you.
Before I can get a word in, he slams the door to my face and bolts it shut with much finality. What the hell, dude? I'm here to tell you something. Okay.
Wait, sir, you gotta hear me out. You're both in danger if you stay in there. Have you seen the news lately? Everything's not a coincidence.
Only silence answers me. Maybe it was Miss Wright. Oh, who am I kidding? I've already seen the look on her face when I tried before. Yep. There are limits to how far a person will believe in you. Then again, I didn't believe Isabella when she warned us. And now I'm here, desperately trying to save people, even if I'm aware it's completely out of my own capacity to do so. Is this what they call karma? If so, this is one horrible way of turning things around. Taking people's lives, playing with people's fears, making them feel useless.
You're around, ain't you? You here? Inside this house? Listening, watching, or whatever it is that you spirits do? What do you want? You're
Yeah.
already dead. Leave us.
Yes, Zach! Call her out! Nothing. I don't even know who I'm talking to, or if a sane person is supposed to be doing that. The only thing I got after is a feeling of foolishness washing over me, or perhaps this is just me losing my mind. Out of other options and any other ideas, I let my hand slide off the door's surface and fall listlessly to my sides. I can go back to Luxbourne, try to find the others, try to get out of this mess with them, or let them know how much in deep shit we all are. Both sounds good. Either way, my loitering here ain't helping at all. I let the quietness calm me for a few more minutes before standing up and heading out to fetch my bike. It's quite a distance to Luxbourne, but if I hurry, I'll reach it in maybe... Hello? The rustling stops as soon as I turn around and strain my ears for any other movement around me.
Yo, Ash, you there?
No answer. If he's here, and I've just missed him earlier, already my feet are moving in search of him for the second time, it won't hurt to double check. Triple check even. With how big the property is, he can be anywhere. If things ain't so urgent, if they ain't so dire that lives are at stake, I'd probably have just waited for him to show up again.
Damn it. He needs to realize what exactly it is he's dealing with.
That is not just a petty criminal he can simply throw in jail. That is something beyond the authority his police badge could ever give him. The guy needs to stop playing the big damn hero, sit down and chill. My breathing comes in short, shallow rasps by the time I make it back to where I started. Still no sign of it, and I'm beginning to think I'm just wasting my time here. But that is when I hear it. I'd recognize the melody in a heartbeat. Ma's favorite song. I listen for a while, trying to gauge where exactly from the house it's coming from. My feet start moving before I can stop them. And there, as I circle a corner, from a room in the first floor, a single window is open, but I can't make out whoever's inside. However, I'm sure the singing comes from there. Still, why I'll hear an old tune here of all places I won't know. It's an obscure song by all means, but it is pretty rare to find someone who knows this, and for some reason, death seems to follow this song around. Panic lodges itself at the base of my throat at once. Whoever's humming might be, I don't want to be the pessimist now, but on the off chance that it is Miss Wright.
Shit.
I shouldn't just barge in there. I can put myself in danger before I can save anyone. Ash will tell me so in the exact same words. Might even write me a dissertation. Why that is a bad idea if he ain't so lazy. But damn it, god damn it! Someone could be in danger. Enter the open window. Enter the open window, brah! I can search for Ash, but what if it's too late by then? With how big this place is, he can be anywhere, and it's very likely by the time we come back, someone's already bit the dust. Those cries are freaky, man. That and the cries grew louder against my ear the longer I linger. Almost impossible to ignore, drawing me in like a moth to a flame. For a moment I let myself shudder, shaking the uneasy feeling off my head. This can't be a good idea, not by a long shot. Still, I've got to try. Funnily enough, for a couple as high profile as the Wrights, they don't seem to have any security detail patrolling around. A few guards here and there, sure, but one will expect they'll have more considering the size of the place. It works to my advantage though, and I really can't complain when there's a high chance I might get arrested for what I'm about to do. Luckily the window's wide open for me to fit through without making any noise. There's certainly no going back now. But as soon as I step into the parlor, all of it ceases, while I find no trace of the woman I heard crying like I'm expecting to. The room is still empty at this time of the morning, and I'm left standing awkwardly in the middle of the hush. Maybe she just hid somewhere.
Hello? Are you here? I heard someone earlier, and I'm here to help.
Hoping for an answer, I let the question hang in the air, but several seconds merely go by without a word or the slightest movement to indicate there is someone in here. Has been here. With the stories I've heard, the things I've seen, it takes effort to keep my brain from going into that line of thought.
I'm not going to hurt you. If you're here, say something.
Nothing. Am I just hearing things? No, I'm pretty sure I heard someone. But with no one responding, I can't help but feel silly like this. And the awareness that I've just trespassed a house for nothing because of some voice prickles at me. Suddenly the silence feels uncomfortable, and a needling anxiety slowly creeps up my back. I should get out while I can. If it ain't there, it ain't there. I don't spare the room another glance when I walk back the way I came. Out into the window leaves, before someone else notices.
I thought I heard a servant moving around here. Turns out it's just a rat scurrying about.
Oh my god, it's the butler! Listen, bruh.
Pleasant.
You misunderstand. My heart shoots up into my throat. I can run. The window is a few steps away. I should be able to escape, but instead, out of some foolish impulse, I turn around. Perhaps it's because the only impression the guy has left me in what few times we met is nothing but unsettling.
This ain't what you think it is.
You're quite the distance from the kitchen, I'm afraid. Perhaps I should lead you there.
Someone's in here before me. I wasn't here for what you're thinking. There was sobbing and...
The first blow knocks the wind out of me, sending me heaving and crumbling to my knees. Tears well up in my eyes as the pain swells when he twists my wrists behind my back.
Listen to me.
Then again, dirty thieves aren't welcome in my kitchen either.
Jesus! He's hit me a few times. For a moment there is only silence and a sudden piercing ache, this time at the back of my head. The room abruptly tilts on its axis, dimming. On the verge of unconsciousness, I can only hear the scuffling of foot, the thud of the door being closed, and a woman crying, asking for help. You fucking locked me in here with her, man. I know, no more. Monday. The pain is the worst when I come to a sharp piercing ache somewhere at the back of my head, begging to be noticed. But it's nothing I can't handle. Blarily I open my eyes, expecting to be greeted by still Zach. However, the walls that welcome me are unfamiliar. When everything comes into focus, I recognize the place for what it is. A cell. Dark, cramped, with the only light coming from the moon outside, streaming through the sole window barred by thick metal bars. Memory rushes back to me in sharp bursts. The mansion. Looking for Ashton. I'm still Zach! A familiar tune and a woman crying. All while my head still aches from the hit I've received. Usually I pull myself up, stretching the cramps from my shoulders as I do so, but stopping when a sudden movement induces an acute stinging pain right through my arm.
Damn, they got me good.
Yeah, dude. Shit.
What time is it?
As expected, they've taken everything I have on my person. Wallet, cell phone, my keys, meds, even a small pack of gum. Protocol is protocol. The first place ending back in another cell ain't in my agenda. The first time was not a pleasant experience, and this certainly won't be either. Considering who has likely put me in here, it could be much worse. The bars are cold to my touch when I approach it, looking for the person on duty. They'd usually allow us to contact someone, and Ashton at least has to know I'm here. He'll be pissed, that I'm quite sure of. But he's the only one who can help prove my innocence and get get me out. However much I don't want to rely on him for this. The hallway in front of the cell is empty, but voices float through from further in, likely the poor officers assigned to late night duty. Judging from the snippets of conversation I catch, today's topic over a snack is that moron who thought it's wise to cross the rights. They used other names too, most of which I'll likely to have words with them about in the future. Damn those asses! But really, I'm in no position right now.
Excuse me. Anyone?
Silence.
Excuse me. I need to make a...
Blood freezes in my veins, and my grip on the bar tightens as the revolting scent reaches my nose. More than the gore, the foul smell of my death hangs heavily in the air, and against my better judgment, I turn. Oh my word, I'm here with her! Fucking hell! Her face is the first thing I see, a gruesome sight on its own. Eyes gleaming with nothing but malevolence, blood oozing from the large punctured wound on her head, mouth open wide in a voiceless scream. I clamp on the compulsion to retch. On instinct, I step back, putting as much distance as this cramped cell will allow between us. The bars rattle as soon as my shoulders hit it, a hindrance, not to freedom, but to safety.
Get away from me!
She moves, in short, sudden, bone-crunching twitches, and I know there is no escape. I'm screaming for help before I know it, jolting the bars with as much force as I could.
Somebody, get me out of here! Anyone, please!
Please!
Some people are trying to get some sleep.
You buggers, come down here, I'm in here with her!
No! She's here! You've got to let me out!
Come on!
Someone! She's...
What in the hell? Is Zach dead? What in the hell? You've unlocked a memory fragment. What is this? What is this, man? Who is that? Is that the woman from the painting? And is that her? Oh my word. Did they do what I think they did to her? Oh God. If that is the truth, then this is worse than I anticipated. I'm scared to click. Marianne. Who's Marianne? Is Zach dead? Is Zach dead? No. No, he can't be dead. Marianne. Marianne is the interior designer. Please don't tell me Zach is dead. And please don't tell me that what I think that fragment is of what they did to her, because that is the worst. I thought maybe she was like in love with the prince or whatever, and the princess got revenge and just killed her. But if that is what I think it is, oh my God. No wonder she's so infuriated. Now I understand why she's so angry. Is Zach dead? Oh my God. No, please don't make him be dead. I can't. No. He was my favorite character! Right, guys. I think we're gonna have to just keep it going, I guess. That's the end of Zach. That's the end of Zach's, The numbers are so little on the top of my screen, and they glare at me with such intensity that I can just hear their accusations. I'm late for a night out with the girls, yes, but I have a perfectly good excuse, geez. Considering I didn't follow typical office hours, they really can't expect me to be able to just go as I please at 5:30 on the dot. The client is first and foremost my priority. Alright? I have to sit tight when my personal assistant Chris tells me we have a big one coming up and that I shouldn't miss this one. He knows a lot more on the who's who and the what's what when it comes to these socialities socialites, and I trust their judgment call. I really don't have time for rich people, their drama and their politics. Okay.
Now, if only he has the full shilling when it comes to the time.
Come on, I have a social life too, you know, to an extent, sort of. Pressing my head against the table, I try to starve off an oncoming headache when the notification for a new email pops up. All I'm expecting is a, hey, this looks like a good project I found. Go send them a design or something like that, really. That's how it often goes. Even with these rich jammy clients who's heard of me from their equally rich jammy friends, I can't expect them to hire me right off the bat. Which is all well and good and reasonable. We figure out what they want, send them my portfolio, my drafts for their projects, my rates, and hope for the best. This is a big client, Marianne. I'll babysit Baruthiel for you. Just please take this one project. I promise this person is huge in Luxbourne. Okay, so this is when she starts to go over to the mansion and stuff. Yeah. Mr. Parker, this is a formal request to secure the services of Marianne McCulloch, hereinafter called the designer, as authorized by Hannah Wright, hereinafter called the client, for interior design work at Ermengarde Mansion, Luxbourne, United Kingdom. The client hopes to have the designer there on the 21st of October, Friday, with the time pending. But as I open the mail and see that I've been requested by the client specifically, well, I certainly didn't expect that, and it's pretty straightforward too. A newspaper clipping from the Luxbourne Daily's business news section, boasting the headline, Wright Enterprise donates £2.5 million to refuge. Alright. It certainly caused quite a stir back then. Apparently they had invited businessmen and socialites everywhere in the guise of it being some big business announcement.
2.5 mil and an expensive looking party to boot. These people sure know how to throw their money around.
Not that I should be so callous. They're going to do a lot of good and help a community of people with all those pounds. I, of all people, shouldn't criticize such acts, whether they were for show or not. At the very least, I know they'll be able to pay my rates. With the headline out of the way, however, I find myself staring at the picture that came along with the clipping. Because, wow, here I am expecting a sour old woman in a blazer and skirt. But the woman that was plastered on the front page looks like she belongs on the front page of the entertainment section, or even, if I am to be crass, as the pin-up for a glamour. Okay, I'll be real here. A men's magazine. She sure knows how to rock that dress. Alright. Wait. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. She can't be her. And at the same time she is her, only several years older. She looks just like... No, come on, Mac. The world is full of pretty blondes. It's just a coincidence. With a shake of my head, I snap out of it and reach out for my phone when it buzzes, nearly falling off my chair in the process. Who else would be on the other line but the very people waiting for me?
Oh, piss. I'm so sorry, Cam. I'm on my way.
That's what I say. Yet I still don't move from my chair, face flushed and heart racing. I could only stare until I can will myself to reply that yes, I'm accepting the assignment. And it takes even more time for me to just close the image, shut down the computer and leave. Even then it has already burned its image into my head, no matter how much I wish it would just disappear. It makes me eager for the alcohol and the company. And it makes me eager for anything that can help me forget. It's a good thing that the nearest pub is just a hop, skip and a jump from here. Who is she thinking about? The Galway Shawl, as it is called by those who frequented the place, is the only decent Irish pub in this country. You can pretty much tell that someone is new if they call it by its official name, the Crawl Bar. My home away from home ever since I've moved to Luxbourne. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up into my condo and working anywhere. Hey, check out the music, man. It's popping, man. I want to go there. Jeez, I want to go there. Well, that is when I'm not cooped up in my condo and working anyway. It has good alcohol, good company, and thank God in Saint Cecilia, good music. You're damn right it's good music. I'm about jam here. Crowd favorites like the booty noise, the high Wesleyan men, and second fusion orchestra often played. Not to mention the singing. I love singing. Anyone could just break out into a drinking song, and the others in the pub were just wonderful that they'd start singing along. And doing so while intoxicated is the best ways to go about it. Right. Hey, it's a win-win as long as I don't puke in the middle of the chorus and as long as I can get home in one piece at the end of the day. Right? Tonight is karaoke night. What better time than to try and sing all my worries away? That's what my intoxicated brain tells me.
The ghost of guilt and sorrow remembers who I am.
She's singing!
The prison of my heart. I was my only slave.
She's pretty good! But drinking only reminds me of my home, and the thought of home makes me think of her.
Depths of my cold soul, I'll leave the burden and despair.
Wow, she's good! It makes me nauseous. It sickens me that the smallest reminder of her can cause me such grief.
Fight for what's worth fighting for. Forget the fear, forget the rest.
Damn! Course, that might just be the booze. Any other day, I would have scolded myself for drinking so much.
I lied to the Lord, I lied to myself.
Jeez.
I lied to you and everyone I care, until there were no more lies to tell.
But I already have a client, and we'll be having our first little meet and greet in a few days.
This is easier than being brave.
I can't get over how good her voice is.
Strength I lost to sing my love letter to you.
Please don't say letter. Please don't say letter.
'Cause people can lie, but my lone heart beats true.
Jeez. I want to at least enjoy this night, get over the hangover tomorrow, and return to being a prim and proper professional after.
That song was for Cam, our lucky bride to be. So give her hand, Galway shawl.
Considering the state I'm in, one can excuse my smug grin as cheers and applause rise among the pub's patrons, because possibly off-key public singing aside, I feel like I'm on top of the world right now, and that's a good reason as any to bout out. With good drinks and good friends, there's nowhere else I'd rather be tonight, and I forget for a short while.
And that song was brought to you by Marianne McCullough, everyone. A round of applause.
Jesus, okay.
That was so good. You rock, Marianne.
Oh, please stop. You're just saying that.
You're just saying that.
You know neither of us can hold a tune, Marianne. A toast to our shameless drunk singer. May your drinks forever flow and your notes be ever lovely.
If anyone deserves a toast tonight, that's Cam. Finally sealed the deal after 3 years, eh?
Read 'em and weep, bitches.
Wow, okay. Kamala's diamond engagement ring gleams as she holds it up for all the world to see. She has reasons to be proud. 3 years of living together, and her boyfriend finally asked her the big question. Obviously she said yes.
Don't get too attached to that ring or the one after, sweetie. I was wearing a wedding ring not so long ago, and look at where I am.
Oh god.
But enough of me being a downer. Cheers to a happy engagement!
Of course, if something like Haruna's divorce were to happen, I'd be there for Cam. Just as Cam had been there for me, acting more than just my yoga instructor. I can't be happier for my friend right now.
Cheers!
Cheers! Cheers! Well, we both will be there for Cam, won't we, Haruna and I? Haruna, it's been a real bad year for her ever since her divorce. She's such a nice person, even loaning me money to open a studio, and she didn't deserve what her husband had pulled. I'm happy she's smiling again and pigging out like she used to. I think we've all missed our Japanese firecracker. We met in yoga class, something I had joined to keep myself in shape, and, well, honestly, so that I could make friends when I had moved to Luxbourne. Clearly it worked like a charm, and it definitely didn't have anything to do with the fact that I brought along my lucky D20 die with me on the first day. No sir. I love these girls so much.
You, Marianne. You're 30 years old and you still haven't got yourself a man.
And you guys know I have a very busy schedule. I don't have time for that.
Come on. That's a lame excuse and you know it. You need a man who'll take care of you and you need it now. Maybe some hunk will be your house hubby while you rake in the dough.
I'm quite capable of taking care of myself. Who needs a Mr. Right?
Hey, look at me. I'm Marion McCullough, a lawful neutral cleric with 9 points in wisdom and 8 in charisma, but I can't get myself a date.
I mentioned Drades and demons once. They don't even know the rules or understand what the numbers mean. And I certainly am not some sort of holy person. I'm a far cry from a miracle worker, and I barely have the willpower to fight off demons, especially my own.
Actually, maybe she isn't looking for a Mr. Right, but a Mrs. Right.
Hello. Maybe that's what it is. You know, who's this her she keeps talking about?
Oh, my Marianne, we still love you even if you're in the closet.
That would explain some things.
Is she gay?
No, you don't have a ring anymore. Maybe you two can be together and I don't have to worry about my best girls being alone.
What are you on about? There's nothing to explain.
But the more I deny, the louder they tease until the other people in the pub start to watch. It doesn't help at all when Haruna drapes her arm over my shoulders and leans in.
Will I be all yours then? Will you be making me feel like a woman?
Oh, hello, Jesus. I know that they're just kidding around, but this doesn't make me comfortable in the slightest. So when Kamala notices my silence and Haruna sees the expression on my face, they stop. And when the awkward air settles over us, the rest of the pub goes back to whatever they were doing before the whole thing ever happened. They probably won't even remember it when they wake up with massive hangovers anyway.
Me too.
Hey, no hard feelings, right?
I raise my glass. They smile. Ah, they're best of friends. We drink. There's no need to say more. We're all definitely far too drunk tonight. Yep. Eventually the fun time ends. It is a weekday after all, and with Haruna being a nurse, she still has to get ready for her next shift. Cam also has a loving fiancé waiting for her at home, and really didn't have to make a fuss about having left some buns in the oven when she took off early. Really, I understand. I was the one who insisted, who was determined to get pissed drunk anyway. Moving to the bar, I sit, alone at last. Alone with a stranger? Hello. I haven't seen him here before. It's Luke! It's him! You're gonna be working for him, man. I thought too late. Judging by the way his flushed face and dazed look in his eyes, he's as pissed drunk as I am. But whereas I feel like keeling over, he looks like he's still ready to take the catwalk by storm. Really, he just has the air of one of those men who think they own the world.
Hello there, sexy.
Well,
Please don't stand up on my account. I already like what I see.
hello! What do we have here? You flirting with other women. And you don't even know I'm going to be working for you soon. That is disturbing.
Fancy a drink? It'll be on me.
Hello. But then again, I might be pleasantly surprised if he proves me wrong.
Between the sheets, sex on the beach. I'm talking cocktails, of course.
Well, I hope you are. Fat chance. But it doesn't matter. We both know how to play this game. And there are two different ways for the night to end. One thing or another is going to happen. The question is, what do I want to do?
Oh no, that's fine. I'd rather order some blue balls or some AMF if you don't mind.
Okay. He looks like he's about to say some witty retort, but stops himself and downs the rest of his whiskey. I order a mint julep. He gets another whiskey, and we start the customary small talk. Of course, the saying, ask me no questions and I'll tell you no lies, goes without saying. We ask nothing about each other, offering up falsehoods to establish a strenuous, fake connection between two strangers at a pub, if only to pass the time. Whiskey, as I have come to call him, is supposedly 21 years old. 21! And he's so bloody rich. Takes care of his sick mother and is a manager of some sort. Total lie. Manager of what? I didn't care to listen to the details. Meanwhile, Mint, as he has come to call me, is 29 and I'm what? And I'm... What did I say I was again? Oh yes, I told him that I was a professional chocolate taster. Because fuck it. If I'm going to lie about what my job is, might as well make it fun. It's a pretty decent chat between two pretty drunk strangers. And maybe it's just me, but we might as fucking well expand the tiniest amount of effort in pretending there's something meaningful in this meeting. Would have been nice too if it was just left at that. But during a lull in the conversation, he brings it up.
You know, I've never been with a woman taller than me.
Jesus, okay, I'll take that as a compliment. And to think he might have been different from the rest.
Never have and never will. Whiskey. Can we go back to the history of chocolates? Did you know that chocolate candy was introduced in 19th century England as a healthier alternative to alcohol?
Saint Lucy was the most beautiful woman of her time. She had men come from the four corners of the world just to see the pure light of her exquisite green eyes. If she was so lucky anyway.
No, enough of the history lesson. Come on, Mint. You know and I know what you came here for.
I came here to drink and sing karaoke with the gals. That's what I came for. And I know you married because I know your story now.
Come on. There must be something that gets you going.
Jesus Christ, what the hell is wrong with this guy? So she had taken out a knife and gouged out her own eyes.
There is something, but I don't think you can handle it.
Impressed with her devotion, God restored her eyes and made them more beautiful than before. He has a peculiar sense of humor, hasn't he? Because that only meant suitors kept going after Lucy, and she kept her eyes in a chalice to scare them away.
I'm pretty sure I can handle whatever it is.
You know what? I'm recording this and I'm gonna show it to your wife later. I promise you that. Saint Lucy, help me. Help me turn away from sin. Help me with my own blindness.
My place isn't too far from here. I won't take care of you if it ends up being too much for you. And no one will be able to hear you if you try to scream.
Hello, hello, hello.
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy?
You sure you want to go down that road, pretty boy? Are you sure?
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Hello, hello, hello. Jesus. Is this really happening? Are they gonna shag? That's gonna be too awkward, man. Are they gonna shag? The best thing about having my condo so close to the pub is the ease of access. As long as I can still stand and walk, I can make it home. Maybe I'd need help from a kind neighbor or two to help me with the last leg if I've really gone overboard on the alcohol. But I always made it home. Sometimes with company, because that always comes with complications, especially with the real clingy ones. But it isn't anything a good tip about stalkers to the building security can't fix. I'm always nervous though, even if this isn't the first time I've done this. And the first few minutes when we enter my room or the first few agonizing minutes where I try not to panic. Okay, Max, so far so good. Don't let him smell your fear and all that liquid courage. He'll leave sooner or later and I'll never have to see him again, just like every other man before him. That's what you think, honey, because you just accepted the job. When he starts touching me, I don't even hesitate when I push him against the door. Roughness is to be expected. And as long as he sticks to the script, everything will go smoothly. We'll have our little tumble in the sheets, he'll leave, we'll forget about it. But all I really want is her, and that's never going to be a reality. Who is her? Her long lost love. Is she gay? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just like saying there's like a big portrait on a wall there. Is that her? And she was saying that Hannah looks like her. Okay. That was my fault, of course, because I was afraid, because I was a coward. They would never hold a candle up to her. She was the light of my life, and I had let her go. I can't even be bothered at the thought of her. Just a single thought of her makes my resolve to see this affair through waver.
Wait.
What is it now?
Yes, what is it now? This is wrong. Nothing, never mind. What's it gonna be, Marianne? To sex or not to sex? Well, she kind of did lure him here, so I feel bad for the guy, but she's thinking of someone else, so this is wrong?
We're both drunk.
And
Oh my god, he's really gonna take you, marry you, bugger!
This is wrong. Don't you think it's a bit fucked up that we're about to have sex and we're just calling each other by the drinks that we had? How messed up are we?
Doll, shut up with the ethics and morality talk. It is seriously putting me out of the mood.
If you want to leave now, Whiskey, I understand. I mean, with how smashed you are, it'd probably be best for you to sleep the night unless you want to be mugged. But I won't stop you. And this isn't going to happen.
Bloody hell.
Cock blocked unlocked! You're gonna see when I come to your house where your wife is, you're gonna be like, I'm telling you something. I'm is demanding, eh?
Light tea if you have it. But I suppose all you have are those shitty tea bags from the store.
If it isn't for the absurdity of this turn of events, I would have flipped him off for thinking I have no taste. But in the end, I just laugh. All I got are cans of Korean ginseng and lemon balm, though. No dandelion. Without a second thought, I do wet the tea. That's 3 minutes to get the kettle to boil. 3 minutes where we say nothing to each other. I mean, what do you even say to the guy I was going to sleep with until I changed my mind? Exactly. I doubt he's in the mood to talk about the influences of Troyes and Mallory. It's still unusual by the time we're both seated on my bed with mugs of tea in hand.
Just so you know, whatever is going on right now is a lot stranger and fucked up than the one night stand.
That is true. I mean, we're lying on our bed having a cup of tea together. I mean, what kind?
We are two messed up individuals by your logic.
Everything is messed up, if you ask me. War, terrorism, famine, poverty, loved ones and loved lost. Oh, this whole world is a cesspool.
I couldn't agree with you more. The dead air is telling when it fills the room once more. One would think that this is the perfect time to burst, to spill out whatever issues that made us the fucked up person that we are today. And it is. But I guess some part of me would rather not put the weight of my problems on somebody else's shoulders. It wouldn't be fair to leave that to a person when I don't even know if we'll ever see each other again. Sooner rather than later we both pass out on my bed, mugs left forgotten on the floor. Alright you guys, I think I'm going to leave the episode there. If you liked it and enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for some more content. And leave me some suggestions as well. I love reading your guys' comments. And don't forget to hit that bell as well so you can get notified every time I upload a video. I upload every day from Monday to Friday, sometimes Saturdays and Sundays, depending on the mood. But anyways, I'm going to say thank you guys so much. Blah, blah. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, have an awesome day or night in the gaming world. Cheers.